probably see it here as well. Guys and girls in the chat. Last day of the PEL Contenders Phase 1 Finals. Spam some love in the chat for the teams you're supporting, because we have just started one of the last remaining 4 games. Erangel going up north, 3D Max out, Besiktas out as well. Would assume to see 7 Jumper and Carrier already out of the plane, and everyone will be jumping out in just a short moment as well. This, James, is what it all comes down to.
And okay, it's not the end of the world kind of playing position overall. Some teams will get a little bit further for them to struggle. It makes sense we're going to see Erangel going up towards Zaki. That's where they like to go, between Zaki and Primorsk recently. Besiktas are going to have that place in Gatka where they struggle in this position with 7 close by. Where is Northern Lights going to go? Yep, they'll opt for military, so they are going to stick with that. So it's kind of panned out in very similar, but Snoopy, he's still in the plane.
He's not in a hurry. He's just chilling. He's gonna jump military with his friends. It's like, if we get a military game, we have one guy there. He's gonna do a Snoopy cam. That's what's gonna happen.
Snoopy heard us talking about the cams, and he's like, "Right, guys, why don't I get a cam? I want to be that person."
But one thing that's interesting here is, though, we need a home. They're all flying together north of where we see Desperado right now. They need to get all the way up towards Yasnaya. We've seen with some of these planes before, they don't opt to go all the way up there. Could be because of the plane path as well. Camco, we see him floating about himself. Hopefully he'll be able to reconnect the game. And the circle, well, Snoopy, you're on the wrong side of things, because your team have just gotten it up towards Sarki.
And do you know what? Erangel, a lot through the groups, did not get circles that were very much on top of them, right?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, yeah, occasionally we'd get a good circle. That was about it. This time around, they've had a couple of circles where it has been directly on top of them, and they've not really been used to dealing with it, because it's like, okay, well, we don't have to rotate round now, but we like getting those rotation fights, so how do we position ourselves from here?
Exactly. Very well observed right there, James. They have now got a chance to, and they won't be forced to, but you would expect them to take a somewhat center position given where they are in the circle currently, right?
Yeah.
And for them, they could just say, you know, we're going to hang out in Sarki. The thing here being, we talk about the river all the time, every time it's in these circles. And here, once again, splitting it dead even. If you're on the wrong side coming into circle 3 or 4, that could be the death of you.
And do you know what? It is quite funny, because we've had a few that have been like 70% south, for example. But this is almost 50-50 again.
Yeah.
We've had a fair few of these, and you literally can't guess it. We watched 10 teams gamble up north, and it went down south before. And you sit there and go, all right. It's just part of the play, but my God, that made the rotation oh so difficult.
We've also seen one team sit up north, and 14 teams sit south, and it went up north.
Yep.
So everything can happen. That's what G4, yeah. Sometimes there's a little RNG in play regarding circles, but of course, wouldn't be fun if we always knew where everything went.
Now, interestingly enough, I'm going to look at who's going to take just the mountain side where towards the bit of South Georgia Pole here, because that area was so key, and I think it was Unique that sat up there while some of the other teams, my mind's giving me the correct information here, and as teams were rotating, they were able to pick them apart. But now 7, 3D Max, Besiktas are all closer in that regard that couldn't try and take that area. Stella would even have a chance to if they start the rotations over early. And that was what was picking apart people from like long distances, but also they couldn't really engage with it because it was such an advantage.
And that kind of becomes the Miramar aspect of things, where you want to get that high ground position to be able to scout further out. Maybe not even put everyone up on Everest, but sit up there with a good view of the compounds around you, figure out if the circle comes towards us, what's available, what's not.
And if you're very unlucky, the circle goes half and half, and then you get stuck there because you can't just get back down.
Yeah.
That's what we saw earlier as well.
Exactly. Snoopy, we see him on the screen right here. He is probably the teammate of Erangel that is the furthest away. Teammate of anyone that is the furthest away from his teammates, because he is very far south, and his team is very, very, very far up north. So for him to rotate through what seems to be 7 or 8 teams, it's going to be tricky, but of course he's only one guy, so maybe he can sneak his way on in.
Now, it's all going to come down to as well if Northern Lights and Unity actually ended up seeing where he went, right? Seeing if he did kind of end up in a bad spot. Because Kamka, he did the same, but then connected back in. He's quickly been able to get over to his team because they're not far away. They're over in Milta, where for Snoopy, you literally have to get past Unique, Besiktas, Zen, 7, 3D Max, Seacorg, Stella, probably Reciprocity as well on their rotation, just before you even see your teammates. So for him, really, can he look at a potential smart play where he tries to do with some of the backstabbing or just plays with a lot of information to people?
We will have to wait and see. What we see right now, though, is Peltish flipping himself, and this normally is not the biggest deal because teammates can just rest him, but he has managed to flip himself in a priority area in the circle with his teammates 3 kilometers away. And I am not sure that even if they wanted to, they'll be able to get down and rest him in time. So this could be the first player down because of a bit of a two-wheel vehicle malfunction.
And this is what we go on about, right? These little mistakes we've seen with the cars across all the stages. Yes, they are pro players, and yes, they will make mistakes. But when it is this competitive and you have such a stacked lobby, it is a point where you say, okay, just be that little bit more cautious in the vehicle, right? Play it a little bit smarter than what you used to. I know the pressure's on, but you can't afford for this. And if he goes down, quick math, they're going to be kicking themselves.
Exactly. Already sitting, I believe, 12th place coming into this. They cannot risk losing players and mistakes like that. They've had a hard time in the finals already, and that's not what they want to have happen for sure. We see 2-0, he is on his way down, should be able to get down more towards him as well. Vietnam now making their rotation on out from Pachinki as well, probably going up towards the area of Everest, but we already have 7 sitting up there.
Yeah, see, look, 7 got into that spot already. Just going to stand around for a little bit longer. They've got a bit of a split going on over the road. Can hold on to it. Vietnam, right? They're currently in 8th place. A team you never expect to be saying they'd be. You'd expect them to be like top 4, top 5 quite easily based on what you saw from in the group stages. They have had a rough ride already, being fired at by 7 here as well, using Everest to their advantage. And I think for Vietnam, this has to be games where you're just going out all guns blazing, getting those kills. Points is just not going to suffice anymore because other teams are going to be playing catch-up.
They need to get things going, that's for sure. They're sitting, I think, somewhere around 30 points behind 3rd. So it's doable. We've seen them have these crazy games before. They just need to somehow get back into that groove that they had going in the group stages because there was no one able to stop them at all in the beginning of that. And, well, for them, they will need to get back on that.
Bartos is like, you will not have any use for that vehicle anymore.
Oh, why wouldn't you? The more you can help yourself, it's always better to prevent those enemy rotations when we have a chance to.
And there's little things like that, right? The smart plays coming into it. Say they get pinned down, say they decide to stay out of a circle and a new circle pops and they get a rough position. Let's make it hard for them to rotate. Let's make them be on foot. Makes it easier for us to potentially take them down.
Krabik shooting down towards Vietnam, but them saying, you know what, buddy, you can hit us in the foot. I'll shoot you in the head, and that's a headshot incoming his way.
And that's a good thing, right? The challenge we said about Everest, because this is a hard spot to fight from, especially when they've got the high ground. If he can make it done, and well, it's already starting off. Krabik's going to be found, and he's going to be killed down. And this is what we wanted to see: Zen getting the first kill, and Zen actually coming alive early on here.
Aggie just double headshotted him again. That was 3 out of 3 bullets hitting headshots. If we can see Vietnam starting to get on this groove today, I mean, they've got their teams that should be worried, that's for sure.
He's been playing some public games, playing super aggressive and just popping heads, right? Just working on that aim, focus fire, and getting it done.
Exactly, getting warmed up, you're going to have to. And now, of course, this being weekend, they most likely have had some more days to prep themselves, some more time to sit and prepare themselves, the guys that have been working or doing whatever they do in their daily life coming in. So this, everyone's starting their rotation. Tornado Energy getting their groove on, trying to make a move on forward, sitting up in Rosak here, trying to see if anything's available should the circle go north.
And Snoopy is just waiting for other teams to rotate. So Northern Lights are only just making their way across the western bridge near towards the ferry pier area. And Snoopy's just holding off. He's saying, okay, I'll let them go and I'll be able to deal with this. But here we go. We got Stella to try and fire back off. Over towards Everest. It's Zen they're looking at currently.
Yeah. Long range tapping up towards Vietnam, trying to see if they can do some damage and get themselves some ADR farmed up. In here in the final couple of games remaining, they want to get themselves up on the kill feed scoreboard and the damage dealing scoreboard, and that's exactly how we want to do it.
Now, inside games, right, they've had that win 2 days ago. They managed to come in and they looked like pretty respected, pretty like, okay, we're seeing a better team come out of them. They've been involved in some engagements, but their problem has been when they haven't getting any of these engagements, they've been stuck on the rough end of it. It was like yesterday when they were in Quarry. They started off strong, able to keep teams at bay, and as soon as the third party comes in, they struggle on the reactions and where to go from there. So let's see what they can do today as well.
Keep calm in the chaos is the key to somewhat figuring out how to survive those Circle 4, Circle 5 shifts. Once again, Circle ain't guaranteeing nothing, but the majority of it, I guess you can say, being on the southern side, is going to maybe be like that whole, so it should go down there. But then again, don't overcommit, because we've seen crazy Circle shifts before.
And Everest now is a very vital position for these teams to fight from, because you will get all that vision, you will be on the high ground, but also you can have a look at where all these other teams decide to rotate down. And already you're seeing reciprocity. They're shifting further back down towards this south area. They do not want to be playing it too far up north here, and they don't want to take these fights at this point either.
And that's the thing that I keep mentioning it every time we get these circles, but that's because it is so vital. Everybody now will look to be as close to that river as possible, simply of the fact that we do not want to waste time having to cross over when it comes to, we want to get over quickly, and then we can focus on being on the right side of things, because they know that if you get caught in the wrong, well, then you're probably dead.
And Desperados, right? They're a team that have had moments where we say, all right, and they've been always the keen team to get on the third parties. They will not shy away from any fights here. but also it's the placement points that have been lacking for them. They've had a few in the top 4, on the top 3s, but we've not seen a good win out of them yet. Can it be turned around for them? Because they are just on, what, 11th place, 12th place at the moment?
They had a 17-kill victory, I believe, in the group stage. So again,
Yeah.
once again, a team that is capable of doing it have just fallen a bit short in those final stages. Calvin Klein is actually driving up towards Vasco, now doing a 180 and turning around. Unfortunately, had a bike available and will be able to get out of there alive. But they're just going from one team into another, trying to find anywhere to call home.
I want to know what Snoopy's doing at some point. I want to find out where this man has gone, because it is rough for him, man.
Yeah.
Like, what do you even do at this point?
The good thing is that you don't see it right now, but you see it on the map stream if you have it available. Aspirin and Maxisol are actually sitting out kind of in the blue on the western side of North George, saying, well, we have a boat down here if we have to cross over. Snoopy can sit on the west coast as well, tank the blue in this one, and then say whenever it commits to one, I can just go to the other side if need, because I have a sort of safe harbor to go into up on the north side if I have to go up there. Rado found a place to call home, at least for now. We'll know in a 1 minute's time if they'll be able to stick around for much longer, or if they, again, will have to make a move on forward. Reciprocity as well has done what we've seen them do before, send 2 guys on each side of Razok over the water, try and guarantee at least some sort of space wherever the circle goes. That's also a thing you can do. Instead of committing all 4 to one side, sit 2 on each side of the water and see if you can get yourself a smart position off of that.
Now, already with these rotations, right, there's a fair amount of space and positions people can take, so we're not seeing the early engagements take place yet. The Besiktas, they've not really had to move around, but they've got 3D max close. I like what we're seeing from Seacork here, the split across Georgia Bowl, right? They've got full cover here.
Look at this reciprocity up against the team, and not just any team. These are the guys that want to get out early, that's for sure. It's Unity trying to make their way on in. Right now it's a 2v3 in favor of Unity. Skoom one getting away, but that nade is right on the money, and Tizerin want to make the most of that one, that's for sure.
Good positions there from both Dashdis and Tizerin as they're now going to try and push and make this work. Shiv and Rafi are in the blue, and they won't be able to get round there in time. How long can they try and hold them off for here? Because this is going to be a difficult spot. You've got a full team from Unity, at least the remaining 3 players. The new circles pops, and this fight could be a real problem for Haxedi.
And the circle goes south, so at least they're on the right side of the water, but for Haxedi, he needs to buy himself so much time, allowing for Rafi and Shiv to come over. They're going full speed ahead, trying to come over and help, but it's not going to be early enough. Down he goes. Dashdis did go down, so it's going to be a 2v2 should Rafi and Shiv decide to commit to this one. But both the top teams taking casualties. That's pretty much the first teams in the game. Rafi now taking shots towards him again as well.
And this massively benefits all of the other teams.
Yeah.
These lot having a fight, having a little scuffle, losing out 2 players each, and in a less than ideal situation. And Shiv and Rafi say, do you know what? We've overcommitted as it is. We need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, it was a smart 2-2 split, but Unity, when they smelled something was up out in that area, figured, not enough movement for us to really be scared of this one. And, well, they made the most of it.
Snoopy, 13 minutes, 20 seconds in, and he's got his teammates back around him. He's like, I'm reunited, I'm safe, I can do it.
Finally back together with his teammates. That's fortunate for him, that is for sure. Circle that commits south, and that is most likely where the game is going to end itself as well. And you talked about Everest being a vital point before.
Yeah.
You can fit so many teams in and around here, but it's going to be tricky for all these teams that aren't going to get into that position, that is for sure.
It's King of the Mountain fight that'll be taking place, right? Who's going to be able to force who off? And there is fights going across the board. Inside games under heavy pressure from Northern Lights. 3D Max coming on to Seacork as well. Wago barreling out the grenades over and over again. But they're also being shot at by Zen as Paige picks up the kill onto Sunzi. And that is less than ideal for these guys.
Everyone trying to get some damage done. Wago now taking shots from above, and that's the issue. You can focus as much as you want on the people around you, but there will be those guys sitting on top, getting themselves a good angle on towards you, should you be allowed to look down towards them. Seacork trying to make their way into safety. Vehicle is almost under fire for the Furix, and they're somehow still alive.
About to say, Furax, you are so lucky. You jumped out right in the open. Everyone's shooting at you. You only get hit once. Now Barlos comes in a bit late to the party. He's like, oh God, no, this is not what I want. Comes in, finds himself the hut, and they will be split. They will be saved, but at least they'll still be alive.
And that's the thing, right? They're alive for now, but should this next circle shift away from them outside, those wheels will not be available on those vehicles anymore, and that run in the open is going to be oh so difficult.
And now Avangard, right? We haven't seen much from him given the situation they were put in. I think one of their players dropped off because they've only, I didn't see him die.
Inactive, yeah,
So they've only got 3 up for this game, but now they're all together. So they've had a really tough start. You lose Snoopy down at the beginning. You've only got 3 players for the entire game, and yet you're still in a semi-good position to fight from here.
One thing that's interesting as well is that Teaserin and the last remaining player for Unity, they actually made their way over to the northern side. We know that's going to be shifted away from soon, and for We Need a Home, they're up on that side as well, all really sort of controlled by the team in Stella, who has Cube available. So for them trying to make their way over to the south, once this circle shifts, it's going to be very, very difficult. You see them on the top right side of your screen right there. Teaserin sitting on the far little shack up there in circle. Well, as predicted, goes down straight on top of Severus. Wow, so good now.
Yeah, this is huge, actually. The Everest play has worked out, but you are in the open, like you were saying there, Toby. There's a limited area for cover. Yes, you've got the trees. Yes, you've got some rocks to hide behind, but you have to keep firing. You have to keep pressurizing teams away from you. And that's exactly what Besiktas are doing right now, though. They've been on to 3D Max now for so long, and 3D Max don't have an answer for this.
Not at all. They need to find some sort of cover down here, but it's so difficult to both be covered from above and also from the guys on the sides if you're trying to look up towards or look down towards you. The issue here is going to be, I mean, for me, it's amazing. Why not start off the final day with the proper king of the hill? I mean, that's how we want to do it, right? That is, in the end, the name of this game. We want to be that guy standing on the top in the final of everything. But for all these teams that aren't in here, believe me, it's going to be so darn difficult to find any spot to get to because every sort of entrance point is completely blocked off right now.
Now, what's very crazy is Stella have got a bit of split going on, but they're holding the bridge. Tizerin's on that side as well. We need a homer up at the northeast at the same time. But Rita, she's on a different... She's been scouting around. She was in blue for quite some time. She'll be able to give the information over. As Zen once again coming in here. Ivor's going to find himself 1 kill. They're going to look to do some more damage. And quick math, this is not looking good for them. They've got 1 player left up. They're being pinned down by both Zen and Seven. And that's some heavy-hitting fragging power out there.
Those nades are coming down straight towards them. Jupsik trying to stay alive. He was the heavy hitter for Quick Math in the group stages. They do not want to lose him now with only 2 guys alive. Miyachi running over a teammate. That's not what you want to have happen either. At least should be able to get the rest on up as they are close to the circle with no real threats around them. But for Rita, you talked about it yourself, scouting forward, realizing, you know what, there's so much pressure on the eastern bridge here. Let's take the western, and they will actually be able to get across. But issue for them being, where the hell can they go from there? Because there's not a lot available.
Yeah, that's it, right? You now come to this battle where everyone's having a little battle around Everest, and it's not looking good for you. You've now got to go past multiple teams as well. They've got to try and escape with their lives. But Jambaway, he's found a kill onto Tizerin. That's a huge pickup.
Yeah, it is. There's only 1 player remaining. It's going to be Blast on last guy remaining. Unity, they don't want to go out early in this one, but it might just be too difficult. He's all by himself. Vehicles in the open. It does have wheels up, but where can he go from here? Rita goes down as We Need a Home crashes full on up towards Zoka Nam.
Well, they did take it to Zoka Nam, but Zoka Nam do have the position and they have the high ground. Can they hold on to us though? Smashbay and Polyderic getting their grenades out, Lipson taking some further damage. And the thing is, you may be able to pick up some kills here as Quick Math do get eliminated, but your kills are easily being stolen. Now Shiv, look at him, he can see what's going on. Fires off the first shoot, couldn't land the headshot, and they've got no idea where this is going on. Shiv able to do some huge damage and able to pick up some extra kills. So Reciprocity is still in it regardless of just having 2 players left alive.
No idea of what's going on around in the inside games, boys. They're trying to find themselves some cover, but they were being shot at from all different directions. And, well, you can only cover yourself from so many areas. Blaston committed to the vehicle, now trying to make the run on over. But he's going to be under a lot of fire crossing this bridge once again.
And even the circle damage is going to be doing a fair bit to him. That's it. Unity eliminated in 15th place. Siggsy finds him. But Shiv, he's found himself knocked. Rafi's down there. Can they keep him going? Can they keep it up? Because they are in a bit of a spot where there are multiple teams that come into this. Northern Lights, Desperados, all very close by as well.
Stamps is a solo player remaining. If he throws 1 more nade down towards where he threw that previous one, that would be a double, and that would be Northern Lights. No, not Northern Lights. Unity and Reciprocity both out early, and that would be insanely well for all these other teams, like Erangel, like We Need a Home, who are looking to somehow get a 60-point deficit sort of narrowed down within just 4 games.
Somehow, though, We Need a Home are still fighting on top of Everest with Zen. And this is insane because they've been taking some serious heavy fire. Now, Besiktas looking to take it to Erangel, and they go down very quickly.
Wow.
Huge work from Lux and Simsy there. Impressive stuff. Erangel tried to work their way up, and they were having none of it.
Look at Stamps crawling around. We didn't see him in the group stage. Didn't even see him in the first couple of games. Either. Now he spots out Shiv, and down he goes immediately. Rafi, solo player remaining. No kill confirmed just yet. And Stampsy knows the importance of him staying put here. They're not exactly far up the leaderboard, but with everything being so close, that 1 point, those 2 points could be the difference maker.
I love this from Stamps as well. Didn't go in for the kill because he knows Rafi would just jump straight up and finish him off. but that circle moving in is going to be a bit of a problem, especially at phase 5 where that damage is a lot higher. Kamka finds himself a knock onto Kaz, and Shiv does go down. That's not going to work out well for him. How is Rafi going to reply? Straight back up. He is able to do it. He is able to eliminate him, but Rafi now has to be careful because people are going to know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
He's made the noise. The kills have come up there, and he is just running from the circle.
Important few points for Rabbit to pick up here. He knows that Unity out already, and he needs to get as much as he can here to sort of get back in. It looks. Shots connected, but it's going to be Simpsy in the end to get the finish off, and everyone trying to make their way in towards this Everest area that are coming in from the north. It has shifted further down south, and you can see the area these guys are fighting on. So open. Jab away. Sneaky position here. Could be the damage dealer for Melman.
Well, that's exactly what he starts off with. 25 straight away. Melman has to be forced back. Barlos and Seacork, they're taking some extra damage as well, and it's Besiktas just lighting up the scoreboards. What is with Besiktas and being on top of mountains and doing so well?
This is their Miramar, you know?
Yeah, this is their
We're
Miramar
getting
play.
Miramar. We're going to do everything we can to sort of at least simulate it here on Everest. That's what they're doing.
No, Rafi, you've walked straight into Tornado. And they're going to whirl around you and take you down ever so soon unless you can try and back away, because you've also got Northern Lights on the flank behind you.
Yeah, you got to focus it. You got to focus him. They know he's down there. You can see he's all narrowed down behind one tree.
Maybe the smoke will give him some cover, and maybe Northern Lights will engage Tornado, but still, even then it just takes 1 or 2 bullets through it. And they're going to be able to pick him off. Nade's coming out as well, and Rafi just trying to stay up, just trying to stay aware of his position, taking some extra damage, and he doesn't know what to do here. Fires back a little bit onto Combat, but that circle is going to be doing some incredible damage. Rafi goes down from the nade, and Reciprocity out in 12th place. Just a few kills as well. Less than ideal, but there we go. Northern Lights, they're ready and waiting. They heard it, and they're saying, all right, time for us to pick up some extra kills here. You guys were far too focused on one player.
All of a sudden, this entire lobby has just become that little percent more focused. They see the 2 top teams going down this early with very few to no points. This is going to be a huge difference maker for them. Northern Lights now trying to take down Tornado Energy. They got them pinned out there, but all of a sudden with this circle shift, they're both far out of it, and they have to cross the road.
And I love this from Perfectix, right? Not pushing too far forward just yet, keeping himself distanced up. They're sticking together as a unit. They're also aware of Desperados were close by to him. And these 2 teams are quite happy to just disengage from this because they know, okay, we're not in the circle just yet. It could be a bit of a waste us trying to fight this if we want to play for the long game. But also, close by to Tornado is going to be Stella walking straight up onto them. They're all going for the same crate.
Circle just committed a bit further down south of Everest. So for the people that are still finding themselves up north, we're talking Moleman. Nice. Now coming in from Kamka there. Under a lot of fire, though. Shot coming in return, and that's going to be the knock to trade things off.
Oh man, what can he do? Trying to find himself some cover, but Stella are going to be eliminated next, and Tornado coming alive on the scoreboard, getting a few extra frags in there. Both them and Zut and Nam are starting to make this work.
I think Kamka wants to get across and get himself that level 3 helmet. Would be very beneficial for him. Ooh, Lux try to hit one, but Vasco says, ain't gonna happen, buddy. I'm gonna take one to you instead.
And they were actually aiming at the 3D Max players. Vasco just turned around and said, you know what? You can do that, but eventually we're going to find you.
Yeah, just got to stand still for that split second, and these players will not take any missed shot on that. Desperados, realizing they have to cross over. They have sent Calvin over already. Might be able to put out some suppressive fire. And for Talsera and Fake, they need to figure how the hell do we get out of this position. Nice peek from Talsera. Will go down in return, though.
That was the best of a bad situation. Not bad from them. Can Cold the men to hold this off in any way. Further kills coming up on the scoreboard. And okay, bro, getting away with a double knock on his teammates there could be the reason why they go out early here. This is not ideal.
He got knocked with a nade in hand and took down 2 teammates. That is so unfortunate. The info didn't come in fast enough and they couldn't get away from it. That is so unfortunate. They are still up. They are able to get back on their feet, but that just bought Desperados so much time to find a place to hide.
We've hardly seen that problem come into play in the group stages. And now in the playoffs, it's like the 3rd or 4th time.
Nerfs, everything. I mean, it's just unfortunate. It's just, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You can call it nade. Try and run, but if they're already prone, for them to get back up on their feet and start moving, that's going to be too late anyway.
Now then, tapping away. Vasco looking to do some further damage. 6 kills already for this team, but there's only 2 of them just left alive now. They're not far away from the points, but there's a lot of pressure on towards them. And, I thought that was that as well. Oh my God.
I was like, what?
That was just Francario managing to blow Polideric up. But my God, that was literally pixel perfect timing. Maestri dies out to the circle. Melman's going to be able to have him knocked. Cold Dementor's looking through the smokes and hoping, okay, someone make a move. Someone make a little bit of space here so I can see it. But Perfectix, they able to find Calvin Klein. More smoke's going to go down on Tornado. They can see what's happening here. They want to continue to get involved in this. They want to try the 3rd party. As Page, he's gone down, and now we're up at 10 kills for Besiktas. They are the kings of the hill.
Once again, it's going up the mountain. Nothing to it more than that. Besiktas and Vasco, the only 2 teams in play players inside the circle. And once again, we also see Tornado Energy. Two of these teams that we know are capable haven't delivered so far, but if there's one day to do it, that's going to be today.
Oh, Noki tries to prone himself down, wants to hide behind the rock, but that's not going to happen. Tomil is on the hunt. 11 kills now for Besiktas, and they are having probably their best game we've seen during the playoffs.
Oh yeah, for sure, easily. I mean, they haven't had a double-digit game as far as I'm concerned, and they have had a hard time getting anywhere near placement points too. So for them to sit in top 6 with this many kills and still 4 guys alive, full control up here, that's very, very, very well done. You see Simsi on the northern side there as well, trying to clear that entire side. So once the next circle shifts, if it goes down center or south, they know they have no one to worry about from behind.
Now the problem you have here for Desperados and Tornado is the time they're wasting, the time they're fighting off each other. You've got Unique nearby as well. Melman's going to go down, but so many of the other teams can just fire on him from that high down position.
It's a dangerous push from Melman. Pushes all by himself, and that angle he's holding. We talk about having to be able to refrag, doing these things. They just went from 3 down to 2 all of a sudden. They cannot push this, and it's a dangerous, dangerous split to sit in. Wait for them. You know they have to move in. There's no reason for you to aggress out in the open like that.
Now we've got Francario still on 7 on his own. They've been holding control of the hill for so long, but now he's just on his own. He's still taking some shots. He's actually going to come on to Simsy. Maybe we'll get a frag here as well. Calvin Klein, you are just hitting it today. X-Team gets knocked now as well, and Kamka, he's too far away. This isn't going to be possible. Tornado under heavy pressure. They've had a good set of kills, but this could be it.
Last player remaining on his team. They're split too thin. Not a whole lot to do there. Kamka does get one knocked down. A lot of fights happening at the same time here in Francario. Obviously, they know where he is. Damage being done. Calvin trying to make the run up alone, but Unique trying to come in on this one, and they will get themselves the finish off on him.
Desperados get eliminated. Solid stuff coming out there. Unique, though, going to be very happy with what they were able to do in that time of third-party situation. Can they get any more? They know Kamka's still hiding around somewhere. Tomil got to be oh so cautious because there is Vascu looking around for him, and you also had Francario just below him. He's aware of Francario's position. It did take down his teammate, but Francario is just hiding, waiting. He knows he's got plenty of time, at least for now.
Unique has been playing it slow on the southwestern side. Everybody was coming in from the north when that circle shifted down towards the southern side, and they've been laying low. Still 3 guys up now. They have the advantage in numbers, but they have to push uphill.
Vascu firing off a few more shots, but he's being very cautious of what could be below him as well. He can't just focus fire the Besiktas players. The nade does a bit of damage as well. He needs to be very cautious. A standing Unique, they're going to start to make their way up. Is Vascu going to be spotted here?
He's going to hear them, that's for sure, but will he be able to get an angle on towards Play With Me? That's going to be the big question. Unique also a team that has been not sleeping in the finals, but we have expected higher performances for them. This is their chance to come in late and get themselves a victory here. At least a guaranteed top 5 spot now, but what more can they do with it? 3 solos remaining, a duo and a triple.
And Francario, he's the one who's just going to be left alone the most here. He's on the opposite side, while Kamka, they know where of his position because Unique already had that little fight. Vasquez's position is 100% known because he's just been firing and shooting at everyone. Yeah. And Besiktas just need to play the smart game and just hold off together and play the refrag positions. As Vasquez, he's just waiting it out. Nade's going to come up. Oh, and it does a hell of a lot of damage. 82, and he prones instantly. Wow. Needs to drop that first aid kit. That was so close.
This could be, I mean, if he gets a snipe off of this and make it into late game, that could be the difference maker. Kamka making everything he can by himself. Tornado. They might be down to 1 guy, but 12 kills already. 8 of those in the hands of Kamka. And he is buying himself some more time and also making it a little bit easier for these other teams remaining because Unique just went down to just 2 players as well.
And Unique as well, they were aware of Kamka's position. Now, they're fully understanding, okay, we've got multiple places we need to spot from. Tom Hill goes in, can't land the headshot just yet, tries to fire off a few more, and somehow Francario survives, but the circle will get him regardless. 7 get eliminated in 5th, and now we're down to our last 4 teams, but only 6 alive. It's a crazy position to be in.
It's a very, very interesting final game. The circle is going to go pretty much straight on towards Play With Me, a little south of him, just down the hill there. So the first movers will be the guys on the side, but will they go underneath or try to swoop their way up on the north side and clear that around? That's going to be the big difference maker. We're only 4 teams remaining, but the third-party team in here could be the winners. Right now, honestly, there's no saying who's going to come out on top.
Quite easily, one of these solo players could come into it if they just join at the right time. This is truly anyone's game. Unique and Besiktas with a big advantage. Tom Hill pushing up, but he's not pushing up with his teammate. Ultra's too far away.
I love what Kamka is doing. Pushing down underneath. You know the other guys are on top. They'll fight each other, and then he can be hiding down there until they're coming down towards him. Really, really smart play, but he has to stay unnoticed.
Nobody is moving. It's who's going to walk over who first. Tom Hill Very cautious around the edges here. First two shots being fired off as Camgu's going to start to deliver it. Play with me, gets knocked down. Is Vascu going to come alive here? He's having a look for it. Standing is right below him, but he's not making too much noise. He's hoping that he's going to see some of these Besiktas players, and he's working his way around. Tom Hill also on the hunt, having a look for it. Vascu could come up just at the right time. Tom Hill, he's just looking, he's waiting, but he's just on the other side of the edge. He's got no way of guessing where Vascu's going to pop up. It's going to come down to reactions. Vascu delivers the first bit of damage. He's taking some back himself. He gets the knock onto Ultra, and he's going to get Tom Hill. Besiktas get eliminated. Vascu soloing it up, gets away with 2 kills. Absolutely monumental play.
And look at the position for Camca now. Stanton and Vasco will pretty much have to fight off this one. This is going to go right down to the very last split second, little centimeter to sit on, will make the difference here. Camca is by himself down south, but somehow Stanton and Vasco needs to crawl down together.
And this is that individual skill we're talking about. Camper takes down Standing. Now Vasco goes to look for him, and Zuck did Nam get their first win alongside 10 kills, and Vasco